Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Hoser.
And I'm Jose.
And this is Keggercast.
Yeah.
So today we have a local podcaster, local comedian.
Comedian?
Yeah. The host of The IV Nerds, or at least one half of the host of the IV Nerds, Jose Alejos.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? The comedian is a new one for me. Yeah.
Just this Saturday, both me and Jose actually competed in I think it's probably the first ever local stand-up comedy competition, and there was 13 of us, 14 of us, 14 of us, and I think every single comedian did well.
I think I was surprised that all of us had our good laughs. Yeah, I think I felt prepared, but I thought somebody's gonna bomb, somebody's not gonna do well, but I think everybody did a good job.
The other time, Michelle, that I was surprised that by how I was surprised that no one bombed, first of all.
Yeah, and
then there was a few guys I'd seen before that really raised their game, more than what I'd seen them before. I thought, they're not going to do that well. Yeah. Oh my God, they actually surprised me.
Yeah, one of them was one of our city council members. I thought it was gonna. I'm not gonna say names, but yeah, I thought.
We'll leave that name to Gil's podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But he did it. He did a really good job.
Yeah, he did.
But I had a lot of fun. Like I said, it's my second time ever doing stand up. Yeah, but the first time was. I think I had a week to prepare, so I did okay, but I think this time I felt more comfortable.
You had more time to prepare.
And actually the first time I didn't actually practice. I just wrote a couple of things and didn't practice. I just went. I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna show up, right? Yeah. But this time, I prepared. I read my script over and over. But I don't know. I thought.
So, did you have jokes before, the joke set up before, or did you come up with new jokes just for this?
No, actually, I think it was half and half, because some of them already kind of, I didn't write them down, but I kind of had them in my head.
Yeah.
And then as I wrote things down, I would add stuff or take things out, or it was just a evolution of something that I had thought up in the past. Because I remember, and I was watching, I think it was today, I was watching your episode with Gustavo.
Oh yeah.
And I was some of the jokes I said that I actually brought them up on the podcast. Oh. So kind of my whole skit was on pictures, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, when you brought up pictures, I kind of got that.
Yeah, so it's I was watching it today. I was like, man, subconsciously, I brought it up in the podcast.
To be honest, I was going to use a joke premise that came up in that podcast also. I had originally thought about talking about serving sizes on food packages.
Mm-hmm. And I was also going to bring up the vitamins for men.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, no, leave it, because I kind of wanted to stick with something,
keep it all related.
Yeah, technology related, Yeah, because people kept telling me oh, you should say this or whatever. Yeah. But I was like, no, I already have my my little
niche.
Yeah, but I had fun.
So open mics are sort of like practices. Professional comedians go there to practice new material. Not in our open mics, but I'm saying open mics in big cities.
Yeah,
they go and they go open mics to practice their new materials and stuff, and unknown comedians go there to keep getting better at it.
Yeah.
And I've worked with professional comedians, and one of the things that a lot of them keep repeating is keep telling you, go out, practice your jokes over and over again. If it's the first time you say them, and they tell their jokes over and over again.
Yeah. When they do a tour, it's basically the same jokes over and over. They just. Even when they do specials, they tape them, in 2 days or 3 days. So, but you feel like when it's something local, you feel like you need to come up with new material. Cause
yeah, especially in a small community like this.
Yeah. Because they're gonna be like, oh, you're saying that joke again, you know. I'm like you said, I'm the co-host of the Ivy Nerds because me and my son do these YouTube videos. We've been doing them for I think 4 years now.
Nice, yeah. That's
so we have like
you have quite a few because I did try to cram a few in before this before coming for this interview. And yeah, I gotta say, I mean, yeah, like because you do the gaming videos and the box opening. And the unboxing, right?
Yeah.
The unboxing. And then, and my favorite is the taste test.
Yeah.
I like the taste test. And
I think that's our favorite too. It's fun because we get to taste like different kinds of, you know, like chips or cookies or whatever. But I'm just hoping that I don't give my son diabetes in the future, you know, all the stuff I make him, you know. But yeah, it's.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Had fun, but where's my leg?
Exactly. But yeah, actually, when we first started, you know, I couldn't think of something. I wanted to make videos, and I wanted to make them with him, and I couldn't think of, you know, something to do that was like fun and like we would learn something. Yeah. So in the beginning, we started making like today in history videos, like. We would get like facts about that day, and then like people's birthdays and stuff like that. And so like probably like the first year we did that, but it was kind of stressful because I put that pressure on myself where I wanted to do one every day. Oh, yeah. So like I couldn't, like my wife's like, hey, we're gonna go out and eat to so and so's house. Like I can't because I'm, you know, I just recorded and I'm editing and because I would get home, run here, look for something real quick, record it, edit it, and then, you know, try to do that like in 2 hours.
And Gil complains about his schedule.
Yeah. He does it once a week, right? But yeah, then we went to the gaming. We did a couple of gaming ones. Then we started doing like the taste test, and then we just stuck with that because that's something that and the unboxings, we've done them since, you know, day one. But yeah, we've been, like I said, we've been doing it for years. We have like 400 videos maybe.
That's all. Yeah, I have a lot of videos.
So I was telling somebody at the show, at the comedy show, that sometimes I don't tell people that I do it, but I'm like, I should, because I invest so much time and money and stuff on this that in order for me to get a little bit back, you know, people need to watch. That way I get some revenue from the video. So the more I put out the word, you know, the more, you know, the more views we'll get. Maybe we'll get some money from that. Because I mean, I don't think that anybody that's been doing this for so long can't not say that they're a YouTuber, you know. Yeah. I mean, I am a YouTuber.
You have over 400 videos.
You're
a YouTuber.
Yeah, because there's people like, oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber. How many videos do you have? Oh, like 4 or 5. But yeah, like now that I have like 400, I was like, man, you know, it's not easy. I mean, I like doing it, even though it's time consuming. I'm a night owl, so there's a lot of times where, you know, I'm on the computer 1, 2 in the morning, you know, playing around, editing, stuff like that. So that's what I do in my spare time. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess to this point, it's not a hobby anymore. It's kind of like my little side job. So yeah, I want to start spreading out the word that, you know, I do.
Oh yeah. No, I completely agree with you.
I like podcasting more. I try to get my son into doing it, but he can't stay still for 30 minutes. I have thought of doing maybe like a 7-minute podcast, because there is this one kid that I've listened to, because I listen to a lot of podcasts. Sometimes I wish my commute was a little bit longer, because I do listen to a lot of podcasts, but since I only live like maybe like 5 minutes away at the most, you know, I don't get to do it. I do it at Walmart. When I go to Walmart, I'm always listening to something. But I like this more because it's more of, you know, you're just shooting the shit. You're talking to somebody, having fun, drinking beers, you know. If my son would like this more, then I'd probably do less like the other videos, and I do more podcasting. Then
just earlier today, we were talking about the possibility of you starting a political podcast, or
I don't know if I would call it political. think it would be more
informative.
Yeah. Because I mean, if I do start it, I want something to be like unbiased, because we all have our opinions. So I don't want it to be like I don't know, like kind of like an Alex Jones, like I want to give information, like say there's a new proposition going out, have somebody that's an expert in it come by and talk about it. If I don't know, maybe have the city manager come down and tell us what's going on with their city, what they're planning on spending our funds on. Maybe, I don't know if you heard about the Heffernan board debacle. If somebody wants to come by and talk about it, they're more than welcome. Just information. Like, there's a lot of things that go on in our community that we don't know. Like, we just had an election for somebody in the county for education. Yeah. And we have like 40,000 citizens and only 1,000 of us voted. I'm not gonna include myself because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't vote.
Yeah, I didn't vote either.
So yeah, only 1,000 people in our city voted out of 40,000. So and maybe it's because we don't know what this person that got elected is gonna affect our community. So like have somebody that's an expert because I don't even know what the position was. It was like County Board of Education, I think.
Yeah.
So have somebody that's kind of an expert come tell us like, this position is gonna affect your city in so and so way, and maybe that'll encourage people to come out and vote. And even like if it's stuff for a community, like budget wise stuff, maybe it'll encourage people to go to a city council meeting and voice their opinion. Kind of just have more people involved, not always the same people.
Yeah.
Because I bet those 1,000 people that voted are probably the same people that vote all the time.
They're the ones that decide what happened to 40,000 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's sad is I didn't vote, and I do have the absentee ballot. The thing is, I just put it in my drawer and I forgot about it.
Yeah. Me too.
I just completely forgot about
it. Me too. And maybe it was because I didn't know what was going on, or I didn't really care or whatever. But I mean, I'm hoping that if I do start with the podcast, which I really want to, I just hope that, it'll encourage more of us to get involved. And if it's just, going out to vote or going out to a city council meeting, that's more than enough, because, I complain a lot, about Trump or whatever. Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, I'm never going to change that. I know I can change my local politics.
No.
So maybe, that's, if I get involved in this way, maybe that, that'll be my, that'll make me feel better in the sense, I helped at least my community.
Yeah.
So that's, that's what I, want to do. And I mean, to be honest, like I said, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I just want to, tell the people, this is public information. You can go out and ask, city council member, or go to the city and get this information. But if you don't want to, here it is, here's the, the basics of what's going on our city. Because like I said, we can't let 1,000 people decide, for 40,000 of us. So
yeah. And going back to the Heffernan Memorial Hospital District, whatever they're called. Why do we still have that board? I mean, we don't have a hospital, and even the building that the hospital was in is no longer part of the Heffernan. No. So why do we still have this body of supervisors?
I have no clue, and that's the kind of questions that I hope to answer. If I do start this, because they spent, what was it, 15,000?
About 15,000
on that little trip. Little getaway. So yeah, like I said, why do we even have it? Maybe we don't need it. Because we've been without a hospital for years.
Yeah.
Having that board hasn't done anything.
Yeah. And then, like the Pioneers took over that building years ago. So
yeah.
It makes no
we have to do something about things like this. You know, we can't turn the other way and say like, oh, you know, they spend $15,000 of taxpayer money and nobody said or did anything. I mean, and the other reason why, or the other person who encouraged me to do this was Gil. You know, I was talking to him the other weekend, like, you know, I told you, dude, since day one, I'm a huge fan of what you're doing. And, you know, I don't want to do exactly what he's doing because he's doing a lot more of like
in-depth.
Yeah, investigative discovery kind of shit, you know, like in 60-minute shit, right? Yeah. And to me, it's more of a, you know, informational, but yeah, I tell him like, you know what, dude, you know, I think it's awesome what you're doing for not only Brawley, but, you know, the Valley, because there's a lot of things that, you know, county-wise he's exposing and yeah, I mean, he planted that seed in me that, you know, I mean, I have my equipment, I have stuff, you know, I like doing this kind of thing. So, you know, why not use it to do, you know, good, you know?
Yeah. It takes balls though to go up against, you know, to expose people the way Gil does it. Yeah. But no, but he's doing a great job. Props. Yeah, props to Gil.
I guess we're one of the few countries that has that right where we can talk shit about a government and not be. I mean, we can be.
Well, so far, you know,
yeah,
things are changing quickly.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel that this administration is, you know, encouraging more people to kind of do this kind of stuff. And you know, if we can, you know, we should. I think I have the name for it.
What's the name?
It's gonna be called "¿Qué pasa, Calexico?"
Wow.
Because sometimes, you know, it's gonna be like, "Oh, ¿qué pasa?" You know, like, tell me what's going on. Yeah. And then times where 1,000 of us go out to vote, it's gonna be like, "Hey, ¿qué pasa?" You know, get your shit together, right? So it's kind of like both ways, you know.
Yeah.
And I came up with that name. I'm gonna trademark that name. Cause yeah, I mean, I came up with it because I've been really thinking about it, you know.
And you just told all 5 of my viewers.
Exactly.
You're in trouble now.
I hope none of your 5 viewers want us to trademark that name before I do. But yeah, I mean, I already started doing, cause
2 of my viewers can't even walk, man. So my mom, she's
but yeah, I already started. I created the Twitter account and stuff like that because, I mean, I don't want to make the video and make the podcast without having, you know,
the rest of the media.
Yeah. And, you know, I want to do it right. So, I mean, I'm starting to plan stuff out.
The problem with me is I have 5 viewers and they don't even show up to my shows.
There's a lot of comics that are big here in the States that are big in the Middle East. I'm like, how do they get our jokes? You know, like
they speak English everywhere around the world.
But it's crazy that in other countries it's a requirement to learn English, but not in our country, you know.
To learn it.
There's people that don't speak English here, you know. In other countries, you know, it's a requirement. And it's funny because I have friends that had their kids in, and he got to get like their first kinder to like 3rd or 4th, and they come here and they speak English like really good English. That even their teacher is like my friend told me that the teacher was like, he told the teacher, "Oh, this is my son's first year in the States," you know. He's like, really? Like, his English is like on point, like, but you know, there's other kids that live here their whole lives and like their English, you know, sucks, you know.
Sesame Street, you remember when they go like, "Con, trap, John," or the 2 faces, you know, like, you know, like, what was that? I'm trying to think of a good word, like, pull. The fuck? Yeah. Are they fighting? Yeah, like, because they were like half over the word. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember. And then there's an episode in
why are you arguing?
And Family Guy where like,
yeah, that's right.
And then Peter won, and then and he was in, like, and then he got frustrated. I don't know why, but yeah, I do remember it though. But yeah, I mean, we had all those things, you know, growing up. I was a huge fan of Sesame Street, and what is that guy? The guy with the cardigans.
Oh yeah, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, no. My problem is that even back then, maybe it's because I just didn't get things and I questioned everything because Like even like at the beginning, when they're, won't you tell me how to get?
How to get?
They go, no one ever answered the question.
Yeah.
How did they know how to get there? I want the directions. I want to go to Sesame Street.
Yeah.
What's the address?
But nowadays you don't need it because you have a GPS. Sesame Street.
That could be a good niche for your comedy. Maybe you should keep all your comedy like technology related, because like I've read things, I've taken classes, like online classes for comedy supposedly, and it didn't help for shit. But waste of fucking money. But yeah, well, I read a lot of a lot of them say, yeah, when you start off, you should have a niche. That way you'll have a group that you're aiming for. Yeah. And then if you make it big with them, then you can start expanding your niche a little bit. Yeah. That could be your niche.
It's funny because I do, and that's my job. I work in technology. I'm a computer technician at the high school. So the day I was walking, and a couple of teachers like, "Hey, are you gonna do stand up?" I'm like, "Yeah." How do you know? Oh no, what? Somebody that tagged you on that flyer, blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh yeah," and they're like, "Hey, do you talk about us in your stand-up?" I'm like, no, but that's a good idea. Let me write it down.
That's my girlfriend about that. Every time something happens, she goes, "Oh man, I shouldn't have told you that, because now you're gonna put it in your skin." Yeah.
And now I told my wife, like, you know what? I'm not talking about you, but I'm only exaggerating, so don't take it too hard.
Oh, that's when I first met her, when the first time I took her to a comedy show, I said, okay, just remember, they're all jokes. Yeah. It's not personal. I don't mean everything that you say.
Yeah, and that's the thing, where like comedy is usually like your daily life, but like exaggerating it like times 100, But yeah, I did tell I'm not talking about your picture habits, so don't take it too hard. But yeah, I could talk about my teachers at the school, but I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it. But I remember the first time I did comedy, I talked about CrossFit. CrossFit was because, oh man, I have friends that every week, hey, let's go to CrossFit. I'm like, no, dude, I can't. It's too fucking early, because you go at 5 a.m. I'm like, and then I'm like, man, like you guys are like a fucking cult, like you're so like you have this passion for CrossFit, and yet you come back, like my friend, like when you used to go in the morning and we got to work, he was always like, oh man, they kicked my ass and my legs hurt, my back hurts. I'm like, dude, like see, like it's a cult. Like nobody is so passionate about something that punishes you, like think about it, like Scientology, they're fucking dicks, and people are like so into it, I'm like, yeah, that's a fucking cult. There's no other logic about CrossFit,
Hey, anyway, Jose, hey, thanks for coming on. Sorry, broke your table. And remember, look out for the IV Nerds podcast and a future
¿Qué pasa
Calexico, and anything else you got going on right now that
no, just my YouTube channel, the IV Nerds. Remember, the is spelled with a D and an A.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully by the time this comes out, I would have done the intro video for ¿Qué pasa?
Nice.
Because I was
like a little teaser promo, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and the Twitter and email, que pasa @gmail.com is already up. But yeah, look me up.
Looking forward to it, man. Anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time, shut up, bitch!